Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
It's about midnight here, so we can't talk too loud.
Yeah, we've got neighbors on the beach.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so we just wanted to tell everyone that just a reminder about the evening with Angus coming up. It's already half full, so if you'd like to attend, you're going to want to sign up soon. Because it's going to be a very small and intimate group.
Right.
A lot of one-on-one. So
It's going to be so amazing.
yeah. So you can do that at soulsenlightenment.com. And for tonight, Vera, did you want to start off? Or did you want to just go over some of these different things that we were talking about tonight?
Yeah, we can just start off with
Okay.
Because if we talk about what I wanted to talk about, I'm going to start crying.
Okay, we'll save that till later.
Okay.
Okay, you guys, so what super cool thing that happened this week, I was chilling at home. I got a text from Vera, and she got a message from Angus that I thought was really cool. And it was a quote. And do you want to read it, or do you want to tell them what it was, Vera?
You can read it because I don't know where it is.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay.
In this world, it's good to know where you've been, to know the possibilities of your future.
You know, and when you texted that to me, Vera, I don't know about you, but it really made me think. What does that mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that make me just kind of think about.
Because the
what
reason
he meant.
what I was thinking, and he gave that to me after I was talking to him about that, was I talked to somebody and they were saying, you know, what's so great about knowing about your past lives? So you were a pirate, so you were this, so you were that, who cares? So that's where I like love this platform, because we can tell people that's not what past lives are about. I mean, it's nice to know that stuff, but the most important thing is the life lessons and how we don't have to keep making the same mistakes over and over.
Exactly. And you know, I wanted to share that.
Well, they're not really mistakes, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, because we
Grow
can't
without-
get there until
right.
we go through everything in between.
Right.
But I was really thinking about it, and I wanted to share that for me, because you were talking about, he said, it's good to know where you've been, to know the possibilities of your future. And I know for me that going back to past lives when I felt like, let's say, loved, it helped me to know what it felt like, so that now I know what it feels like. Okay, love feels like this, not what I've always known before.
Right.
And in feeling that feeling, it's like, okay, I know what it feels like now, and I feel like I'm creating it. It's kind of hard to explain, but once you know how it feels, it's so healing.
Yeah,
it can just
it is.
change everything.
Yeah.
Because before,
It's such an empowerment.
yeah, because it's like if you've only known one way, then it's like, where's the hope? Where's the? How
Exactly.
do you manifest? If we just manifest from what we know, it's hard to. So once you know what it feels like, for whatever it might be, loved or being empowered or whatever these things are from the past life, it's just so empowering. And I also wanted to tell everybody, it was so cool. I looked back in this old journey, and I didn't know it at the time, but I looked back and I found this old journey of the soul book, and it said, there's a master teacher on the other side, and he said that when you have an abused woman, it just happened to be an example.
Oh wow, I love those synchronicity.
Yes,
you know, you just
exactly. And he goes, if you have an abused woman, take her to a life in which she was empowered. And if she's not connecting with that, then take her to the other side.
Yeah.
In her, like her regression.
Yeah, because it's not only going to a past life, you also go to the other side to get messages from whoever's there.
Yeah, and it was like, and on the other side, we feel that empowerment. So even if we don't know how it feels, like in the case of an abused woman, if she doesn't know how it feels in this life to be empowered or to be loved or whatever,
she has the opportunity to feel it again.
Yes, and that's the magical beauty, like what you were just saying, of what's so meaningful and important about connecting with that amazing truth.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's
Past
my
lives.
passion. Yeah, I love it, and that's the message that I want to give out to, of course, along with philosophy and all that. 'Cause that's definitely the most part of it is the philosophy.
Yes, and it's basic because it's like I think that a lot of times, like you were saying, some people see it as more of a novelty to know, but it's so much more than that, isn't it, Vera?
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen countless people just heal their souls,
Yes.
begin that healing process.
Exactly.
Because, like,
Yeah, because you're going to keep having challenges. We're in life. There's nothing that you can say about that. It's just a fact of life. We're going to have these growing lessons along the way, but overall, we're going to be able to understand why we're going through those lessons. So it doesn't have to be such a long, arduous journey. You can kind of cut it in half, knowing why you're going through it. Some people have to learn the hard way. I'm one of them. I have to learn the hard way. So that's just part of that personality. But there's definitely ways that you don't have to go through all that again.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to remind people too, because I was texting with Sammy, and she was saying that she had developed a birthmark. And
now this is interesting.
yeah, and I had told her about a saloon life that we shared, well, all of us actually, and she's been really into research, and it's been really fascinating. But then, I think it was today, she texted me a picture of this birthmark, and she said it started as a line, a red line.
Okay, starts as a red line. Okay.
And then it turned into a strawberry birthmark.
Oh.
Well, the red ones. I don't know what they're called. A regular red
Yes,
birthmark.
No, it's like a strawberry birthmark,
Yeah.
that they would call them.
Yeah. And then it turned brown. But that injection, but that mole was from that saloon past life, and that's where she was injected to calm her down because they were dragging her to an insane asylum. So that manifested that way.
See, this is fascinating.
But she got out of that situation, and she ended up becoming an entrepreneur in that past life. So it shows that she had this horrible time, but then she worked through it.
See, that's fascinating. Because the same thing that happened to you, Sammy, I had a thing like that too, where we might even have like I don't want to say an illness, because for me it was like a little cyst that started. I had it for I don't even know how many years. And then all of a sudden, it just started hurting, and it was red, and all this. It was like it was coming to the surface of the origin of it, of what was happening mentally from the past lives was seeping through, and it was coming out in a physical way.
Right.
So it was fascinating. I could go into that story, but that's a whole
And that's what I
nother
want to
story.
remind you guys. If I tell you about a past life, or if you learn about a past life on your own, remember when you're doing research, if you're doing research on it or anything, or it keeps popping up in your head, put protection around you and remind yourself that you've already been there, done that. You're just going there for the knowledge of it so that you can utilize it in this lifetime. You don't have to drag all of the negativities with you. But you can bring positive. You can give talents and the strengths and all that.
See, and that's I'm so glad you said that, because we don't want anybody to be afraid to know about their past lives. It's just sometimes things like that might be coming to the surface so we can heal them once and for all.
Right.
So that it's not this repeating pattern, or it's not illnesses that keep
Manifesting or
because,
whatever.
yeah, I mean, connecting with that is so healing and so empowering, what we've lived before, like Angus said. Yeah, there's always more about that. I was like,
You could talk all night with that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we were getting ready to go to,
yeah,
night,
'cause it's
right?
pretty late.
Yeah.
It was like our midnight
John's in there somewhere.
showing
Yeah.
and viewing.
But when we start talking about this, it's like, I'm just like wide awake.
I get so excited
Yeah.
too.
So,
Yeah.
and that's what it's so important to be knowledgeable about why you're here and what your service is to humanity. Because that's what we're here for.
Yes. Okay. Do you want to know about that thing I was just telling you? I kind of really want to
Yes.
share it now. This cyst I was having, I had it for a long time. Like I said, it was starting to hurt and everything. And I'm like, what is going on? Well, I had like a meditation, and in it, I was with my master teacher, and we were at a World War II camp. It was like a just an open meditation to see what was.
Oh, okay.
This is what was coming to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in this old World War II camp, and there was nobody there. It was abandoned. But there was one of the old rooms, like everything was all dusty and turned over. And in one of the rooms, there was an old projector still playing the film of what had happened there. Okay, so skip ahead a few weeks later. You guys, I'm not joking. I looked in Louise Hay's book of physical ailments and what the cause was, and I kid you not, it literally said an old bad movie still running.
See? I'm telling you.
It was amazing, and it was like I knew that it had to do with what happened in my youth, but not only then, before this lifetime, and it was just bleeding through it. It was kind of, because that's not bleeding through literally, I mean coming to the surface,
right.
And bleeding through from past lives. I just really wanted to share that with you guys because it's such a testimonial of how we can manifest things, but it's not always bad because it is the beginning of this amazing, not the beginning, but it was a part of this amazing journey to really heal my soul, just like with what Sammy's going through.
Exactly.
She's really focusing on this saloon life for a reason, and I'm wondering what it is. It's something that maybe she's healing or she's working to believe in.
Well, definitely, and it's that she's able to stand alone no matter what has been thrown at her.
That's true.
Yeah. So that her reminder is that you're, you know, even though you feel like you're alone, you're able to stand alone because you have the convictions of her philosophy or whatever it is that maybe alienated her from her family, you know, and that's challenging.
Because you were saying that she was alone because you didn't survive that situation.
And you were dead.
And I was dead. So she was able to thrive after this. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no wonder that's coming to the surface, but almost in a good way.
Yeah.
It's like for her to remember that.
Because she was able to get out, and the man that co-owned the saloon had left it to us, to all the girls, but Sammy was the only one left.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
That is awesome. So she's remembering her strength.
And her ability to get up and have, you know, the rest of her life, even though the beginning part may have been challenging.
Wow. Isn't that cool, you guys? How remembering those past life strengths are just awesome. They help her now.
Exactly.
Stay in that strength. So Vera, did you want to share with everyone things that's been going on lately, or?
I don't know. Maybe next time.
Okay.
Not today.
All right. The other things that I wanted to remind everyone, which I thought was another cool message that Angus had given us, was something I was listening to one of the old sessions this morning, and he was saying that apathy is death. And I thought that was really interesting. In fact, this is from a session that we did, and we transcribed the whole session, and it's on our website, on our Make a Difference page if you want to go check it out. But yeah, it was apathy is death, and you were kind of talking about, it's about if we stop moving, we die.
Yeah. Well, Sylvia told us that. Sylvia Brown. You know, remember, she would always say that whenever we were there for trances or whatever. I remember that distinctly.
That's very ironic, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. But you know what's so weird? I had a dream about her the other day, and I swear I hardly ever dream about Sylvia. You know, she's pretty often doing, you know, whatever, but
do tell.
But it's very short. The only thing I remember is there was a person standing next to me, or kind of in front of me, and they were holding a baby.
Okay.
Okay, but that person had their back to me, and Sylvia was standing next to that person, but she was facing me. Sylvia was facing me, and she kept pointing to this other direction.
Wait,
And that was it.
wait. Which direction was she pointing to?
Well, away from wherever that person
You
was.
mean, okay, wait. I'm sorry. Okay, so there was a person holding the baby,
Mm-hmm.
and she was pointing away from that person?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So what do you think it means?
I think that I was starting to kind of get away from SE. Remember, because when I was watching the movie, I was so tired all the
Oh
time.
my gosh.
And she's like pointing. That's what I'm taking it as.
Oh.
Like, I can't do that anymore, but now I have time to.
Oh, wow.
And that's not a coincidence.
Wow.
Yeah, that I stopped babysitting, and it was at a crucial point because I never told you, but I was gonna quit.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned
I
that
was
last
really
week.
tired.
So what you said, she was thinking,
Yeah.
Vera was saying that she was thinking about stopping what we're doing.
I just couldn't do both.
Yeah, I know, you were really, really busy. But it's amazing that, and you got a message from Angus about it, huh? Do you want to share it? Or
I don't remember it,
okay, you had said that.
but I know I had a message.
That he said that happened because your
Oh.
your mission or your purpose at this point is
Yes,
what
yeah.
we're doing
Yeah.
and sharing the information, and it was getting hard for you, huh?
Yeah, I was so exhausted. But then whenever I was around AJ, I was energized.
Of
You know,
course.
because you're doing what you
Because you
love.
love her
Yeah,
so much,
yeah.
little baby girl.
And then when I came home, it was like I had nothing left.
Right.
So now I'm
yeah.
back in the saddle again.
Well, it's a good example, isn't it?
Yeah.
That even when things happen in our life, it's in a way it's hard, but then it's also it's good to know why it happened, and it kind of helps actually. It's
Yeah.
like this was meant to happen. It's a part of your chart.
Yeah, because I remember when I was thinking it, you know, that I just couldn't do it anymore.
What happened?
Angus was just like laughing. He was cracking up, and then he'd point at me and he'd just start laughing. You know, that belly laugh. Just like,
He's got a great sense of
Yeah.
humor.
So that was it.
So here we are.
Yeah.
She's still with us.
That's it. You guys are stuck with me.
Yeah. Was there anything else that we wanted
No.
to share? I think that was it
That was
too.
it, yeah.
Yeah. I think that was pretty much it. Well, we want to thank you guys for joining us on this midnight viewing here on the spiritual weekend.
Yeah,
and
at the beach.
on the beach, yeah.
But at least it's nice out. It's like, oh, it's almost midnight.
Yeah, it's almost
Oh,
midnight.
that is so cool.
It is.
So blessings to all of you. If you guys are asleep, we're just putting
Yes.
a fairy dust on you so you have great dreams.
Yes. We're lighting the candle,
Yeah.
keeping you all in our prayers. And God bless you all. Stay enlightened.